Hello everyone, welcome back to Sharp Cuts. My name is Garrett May alongside Josh Nickel. As always, welcome back to the show. And Josh, I'm heated once again. Last week, our episode, we don't know how it did. I don't know how it did. Comment down below. If you didn't see the last one, go check it out. But I am still firing at you, Josh, because once again, you put on your dumb hat and your stupid looking headphones and you're in your crawl space down below. I don't know what you're doing. Get it together, Josh.
The hat is product placement. I'm just showing a logo here that Red Bull gets the tease here. But if we ever get a sponsor, I will probably wear their hat, Garrett. The headphones are also more product. You're wearing nothing. If a sponsor wanted to get on the show, you have nothing to offer right now. You got.
No, I'm a blank canvas, Josh. I'm a blank canvas. We are up for sale, dude. You're the one who's occupied. We are not sponsored by Red Bull, by the way. That would be nice.
You're giving too much. No, I paid full price for this hat. Full price. But you have to give more to the sponsor's imagination. They don't even know. You're wearing like a plain polo right now.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Hit me up, sponsors. Let's go. Blank slate here. Anyways, okay, we're ignoring a couple of people, Josh, and this is wild. This is the first time in a while you've delivered two guests. Now, if I had to guess how this happened, you got one guest, and the other guy was like, "Oh, I'm feeling a bit nervous being on by myself. Can you come with me so it's not so weird?" Am I anywhere near on that?
That has happened before. That has definitely happened before. But this time, I invited the first guest because our practice got canceled tonight. And I thought, well, actually, full disclosure, somebody bailed again day of, Garrett, and I'm very annoyed. You try to do advanced booking and someone bails the day of, you're back in the same position. So thankfully, Luke bailed us out. But I do remember in first semester, Marty pulled me aside and said, "Listen, you got to get me on Sharp Cuts. It would be a great episode. It might be the best episode ever." So as soon as Luke confirmed, I said, "We got to give a call to Marty." And thankfully, Luke came through in the clutch and made it happen.
Okay, well, welcome to the show, boys. We got Luke Greeff and Martin Prinsloo. Welcome to the show, both of you. Thanks for joining us. A couple of York Lions. Almost said another name that is not the name. York Lions. Right? It's still the Lions?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I don't know. I changed my.
What was the other name? It hasn't been the other name in your era at all.
Well, I know, but hey, my dad went there and, well, sorry, my biological father went there and he's up on the wall, and back then they called it something different. You guys ever go to that photo and just draw mustaches on them, or just, draw little things on the wall there?
No, they try to hide the photos from us. Yeah.
Okay. Don't you guys speak at once? Are you not coordinate a little bit? I thought you guys were teammates. It seems like we're clearly not in sync here. Can we get it together, both of you?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, Josh, first off, though, we got to clear the air here. And we maybe need some backup because we put out episodes and you're getting texts. People are commenting. People are chirping us. What is this, man? People don't like the show, so they slip into your DMs on Instagram and let you know that there's something wrong. What's going on here?
Do we need to preface that when we ask people to comment and participate in the show that it's only nice comments because you and I are very sensitive? Is that what
we made a show called Sharp Cuts, but we can't take a sharp cut. But there's levels to sharp cuts. Okay, so there's a sharp cut that's funny and entertaining, and a sharp cut that's just mean. So
I think it's okay to be mean as long as you're funny. That should be the rule.
On this show, that is the rule. So with that in mind, Luke, what's your best sharp cut?
Oh man, that's on the spot.
Okay. Not ready to go.
I'll go to my clown of the week.
Wait, whoa.
He's now leading the show here. You put him on the spot and he takes over.
Yeah, whoa. Hey, we can't exhaust the whole show early. It's still in the first 5 minutes here. You trying to run the show already here, Luke?
No, then put Martin on the spot.
Okay, Martin, what's your best sharp cut?
The national ranking system in U Sport, because they didn't have York Lions on there for the whole year, but they had Queens Gales up there, even though they were 6th in the league.
Okay.
All year.
That's a cut. Josh, how sharp is that?
It's pretty good. Garrett, I told you that was my event one week. They were 7th in the OCAA and 7th in the U Sports somehow. I don't know how that math ever added up.
Okay, so you two you're all drinking the Kool-Aid over there at York, eh? You guys are all on the same thing. You guys just vent about the same thing. I'm just picturing, and now correct me if I'm wrong, at the York practices, I'm just picturing Josh in there venting about some minor thing and all you guys fully agreeing with him. It's like an echo around the huddle in practice. Am I close?
Garrett, I'm an assistant coach. You think I speak at practice? Do you give team talks at Douglas? Are you allowed to talk?
Yeah. What, you don't speak at practice?
No chance. And Garrett, you're going to be so disappointed, but laugh at me. I usually put my kid to bed and show up late, so I'm always like the latest guy at practice. Practice is already in full swing by the time I walk in the door.
You're late to practice and you say nothing? You're the worst. Luke, what does Josh even do?
Well, I'm telling you, the practice he did run was a pretty good one. He showed up on time.
That was the only reason. That's the bar for you,
I
Josh.
was running the show, Garrett.
If you show up on time, it's a good practice.
Well, there was more to it than that, I hope. But that was one major criteria.
How was your ball manipulation?
I don't think... No, at York, Dave does a great job. We don't enter balls. We don't lead warm-up. We don't, like... We got guys. I think we have... When everybody's there and healthy, I think we have between 16 and 18 guys at our peak, Garrett. So, yeah, coaches aren't doing much. The players, even when you do like a wash drill, the players off are the ones entering balls. And I got to say, I really appreciate that drill design. I don't need to be like hitting down balls and stuff.
Okay, so your ball manipulation is weak, you're saying. That's okay. Great to know. Back to what we were talking about at the top of the show with how you guys got on the show. So, Josh, you mentioned a first guest, and you said it was Luke. So then Luke had no idea that Martin was coming on?
No, Luke was the first round pick. Like, he was the one we wanted.
Okay, sorry,
and
Martin.
Then I said,
There's a sharp cut. There's a sharp cut from Coach right away.
We have this second round pick. Do you want to fly solo, or should we give Marty his dream of coming on the show? And Luke delivered.
Wait, you asked Luke if it was okay to have Martin on the show.
Yeah, Luke's the captain of the squad, Garrett. You got to go through him. You got to give him a little leadership.
You never ask me about having guests on the show, and you're asking Luke if he can have his buddy on the team? What the heck, man?
I think it's a respect thing now that I think about it. Yeah, it's kind of...
It's a respect thing. Martin, are you going to sit here and take this? You're the second draft pick, and he's saying it's your dream to be on the show?
Sometimes that's how life is. I know Luke probably had me on here because he doesn't have too many sharp cuts. Like, he's just a nice guy. That's why he's the captain of our team. It's because he boosts people up, but he doesn't always say the truth of how he's actually feeling, though.
Okay.
There's a sharp cut.
No, that's a nice cut. Let's really cut deeper though. Extending the analogy. Sharp, I mean, we got to stop. It's kind of bush league to talk about cuts and sharp. Anyways, so you're a nice guy. You don't say the truth. So will we get you to say something bad about Josh on this episode? Is that possible?
No.
You will not say anything bad about Josh this entire episode.
Why is that your go-to, Garrett?
I don't think I have anything bad.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Nonsense. And why is that my go-to, Josh? You bring in two guys on your team. Who else are they going to chirp? You. They're going to say something bad about me. I'm a stranger. They're like, I don't know you. Who are you? Never heard of you. You're old, washed up. It's all the old hits, Josh. But you're a fresh target.
Let's switch it next week, Garrett. You find the guest. I'll come up with the topics, and we'll see how that hits off as a show.
Yeah, it'll be the worst show we've ever had. We'll have no guest, and the topics will be trash. It'll just be you and me sitting here unsure of what to talk about.
And I'll be in charge of the tech, and it'll be worse than the episode we had Sam Schachter, where he kept like leaving the call and coming back in. But when he came back in, he would be mid-sentence again and just think he would take over the show. So it'll be worse than that.
It's a dark history on this show. So let's get to what maybe something we actually wanted to talk about, and maybe try to get these guys interested, and maybe get Luke to say something bad about Josh. So I was thinking on the way here, because Josh, when you said Josh likes to give me a briefing about who's going to be on the show, and I last week I read it out, and I'm going to do it again. But only when it's nice. So Josh gives me a briefing about, hey, yeah, we're having Luke on the show. And here's what Josh said. Plays at York, captain, silver at Canada Games for Beach, all-around good guy. So that's a pretty great summary. And so I'm already making assumptions about like what kind of archetype dude that this Luke guy is. What's he like on the team? He's a nice guy. Okay, he's probably the captain. Okay, he's a beach guy. So what is that? So I'm curious though, because on every team, and Josh, I know you know this, on every team there's like the same like 2 or 3 or more of like the different types of guys you'll have on your team. And when you said all around good guy, I immediately went to, oh, he's like the classic nice guy on the team. Like he's the classic, like absolute nice guy. And I thought, okay, well, what other guys are on the team? So I got a few archetypes here for you. And I'm curious if I missed any or if they're on your team. So we got the funny guy, the guy who's maybe not that good, but just a jokester. Like he's just an absolute clown and probably should get clown of the week every week. There's that guy's definitely on every team, right? Right? This is a show, you guys. This is how it works. We're to engage with each other.
I don't think anyone wants to call anyone out on York, so
nobody was
staying
asking
quiet.
that, but now that you've said it, Luke, who's the clown on your team?
Oh, I can't say anything, guys. We're still early in the show. You're not getting anything out of me yet.
Gosh, I can't do it. Yeah, like we had one or two guys on our team. We had one guy we called the self-proclaimed funniest guy on the team because he just told everybody he was the funniest guy on the team. And was he actually? Well, I don't know, but he was the self-proclaimed funniest guy on the team. That was Luke Sim, by the way, Zinger. And he was pretty funny. Don't tell him I said that, though. There were some other archetypes, though, I was thinking of, is like the guy who is terrible but is an absolute beauty. So that's the only reason he's on the team. Like, I've had so many of those guys who the worst player on the team has to be a nice guy, though, right? You can't have the worst player on the team be rude and like be a mean dude.
You got me on that one. I agree with that one. Yeah. Again, we're not going to name names, but I agree with that one.
Like, you three are looking at me like deer in the headlights, like I'm some crazy guy. Hopefully the listeners are being like, yeah, I'm thinking of people in my head who fit these. And I got 3 guests on the show and they're all just watching. Do I just keep talking, you guys?
What else you got?
I got a whole list here, you guys. Like, I'm taking notes. I'm prepped for this show, and you guys are doing absolutely nothing. Not even contributing to the conversation. Why are people still listening to you three? Why do they tune in to listen to you guys? What are we doing here? Seriously. Are the York Lions all boring?
Boring? No, we're just nice.
Okay, AKA boring. You said it was Martin's dream to be on the show. So Martin, like, what have you always wanted to say on Sharp Cuts?
I just wanted to hear the rest of your list. I thought you were going to go through the whole thing first.
I was, but I thought I'd get some back and forth, some action here. I'm getting absolutely nothing from you guys. Okay, well, here's another one. There's the absolute go hard. A guy on the team who's like mediocre, but goes like smash his head through a wall, like way too hard, like hits way too hard in pepper, like would like blast it off the back wall, like out of control, but works his ass off. Like there definitely on every team I've been on, there's been that guy.
Okay, I got to know, who is that one on York? I think we can all have a vote here. Is that Co, or who is that guy on York?
I think he's the other guy on this call.
I was going to say I've hit the ball to the banners a couple times and serve and pass because Nate just used to tell me if it doesn't go in, you need to hit the ball harder. It's not that you've made bad contact. You just need to hit the ball harder.
Yeah, it's science. Yeah, just hit it harder.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. But he said, I'm just going to repeat what you said. If it doesn't go in, hit it harder.
Yeah. And then when I missed, he would be like hit it harder. And in game, you would get upset when I missed. So, but he would tell me in game to hit it harder.
Okay, so we can't fully blame you for your going hard.
No. It's just been ingrained into me. Like, I would blast it up the back in game, and he'd just tell me to hit it harder.
Okay, so now I feel like we're finding 2 archetypes. I feel like that's maybe a bit of a loose cannon, like just cranking it all the time. But I'm also talking about the Gordy go hard. So like a guy who like coach ever makes you run suicides, fully the first guy, like the going the hard, like loves the suicides, like finishes practice, would put on a weighted vest and go do a set of stairs. Like in the weight room every day, like in pepper, hitting it as hard as he absolutely can. That's the guy. We had a guy like that. Phil James. Oh man.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, who was that guy? I could see Phil James fitting that. Okay.
Nobody wanted to pepper with him except the liberos because he hit it so hard at pepper. It was like a full hit every time. It's aggressive. So.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I could go all day, you guys, but are any of you going to contribute anything to this discussion?
Sure. Well, I think.
Sure. What? You don't have to be here. This is like, we're happy to have you, but like, gosh. Little enthusiasm here, guys. Damn. Is this a favor to Josh?
Well,
is Josh paying you to be here?
I don't have any money.
Is that an option?
No, it's not the
I
budget.
believe Garrett promised a check.
Yeah, like, is it? Can you pay me to be here, Josh? Because like, that'd be great. Okay, what do you guys want to talk about then? Okay,
Luke was finally going to talk, and then
why don't you guys run the show, Josh? Jeez.
Oh, I just wanted to give Martin a little bit of credit because he does go hard. But I mean, how long were your lifts going on for during the season?
Like during the season, I really shouldn't say this on the call, but Emerson's probably not listening.
Yeah.
No one's listening, so you're good.
Track center, and then I would lift there instead of lifting with the team because the team lifts were a little bit too. I wasn't seeing results from the team lifts, so I would go a little harder in the track. But I guess that fits your archetype. But I would say Ko fits the working hard as well too. He just he goes hard in everything.
Well, that's very nice of you to say, Luke, about Martin and try to give him some credit. But I don't know if Josh told you what the show is about. Is it like a nice circle here, Josh? What are you pitching to these guys when we come on the show?
That is a flaw by me, Garrett. I didn't really give them the full description because they had mentioned wanting to come on the show. So I assumed they knew what the show was, or maybe had listened to an episode before. But maybe that was me jumping to a conclusion, and that's why we're in the spot we're in.
Like, okay, what did you want to get on the show for?
I just feel like we could roast Western a little bit because they're kind of a bunch of clowns this year, to be honest. And since you left, they haven't been that good.
Yes, and I'm happy to because Josh loves to clip sound bites of me roasting Western and then putting them on Instagram so that all my former teammates get mad at me. So this is a slippery slope for me here because Josh is on the lookout for me. You sneaky guy, Josh. So don't clip this.
That didn't take much editing. But yes, I will give a shout out to Western Mustangs, the not Western Mustangs account, Garrett. Let's give them a little bit of a bump.
Unbelievable.
They have 275 followers after this episode. I hope that swells to at least 500 because love them or hate them, you click on their content because you'll get a little bit of giggle even if you don't think it's like that funny.
I love that. I'm so about that. It's definitely somebody on the team. And listen, if you're not going to be good, like not everybody's going to be good. There's only one team who's going to win. There's like 3 medalists. So the rest, there's like over 50. There's a lot of teams, double digits of teams who are going to be bad. So if you're not going to be good, be a bunch of clowns. Have fun. Like be crazy. Be entertaining. Have people get drunk in your home stadium up on the stage and yell chirps at people. Like, I mean, that's a bit rude, actually. That's probably a bit offside, but yeah, I mean, I'm for
As
it.
I'm scrolling through here, I will give them credit. They also poke fun at themselves. So one of their posts is the faces of peak performance, and Jason Guy is diving for a ball, and he face bombs another guy on his team. Like he's literally like stiff arming him. So it's not just shots at other people, Garrett. They take shots at themselves. So just good guys trying to have fun in the sport. I will say they congratulated Evan Falardo for winning Player of the Year in the OUA, but then immediately said that Eric Sixna was snubbed. So that's the type of content you're going to get from this club. So yeah, check it out. Not Western Mustangs. Give them a follow.
They also said that they're not very good, but they're better than the Guelph Griffins because they beat them in the 3-way tie to make the playoffs. With Patrick Beverly celebrating the play in the NBA.
Yes. That would be me. If I were their coach, that would be me. I'd be like, if anybody asked me, hey, coach, can we post this? Yes, absolutely. I mean, we won a 3-way tie. Great.
Do you think they get away with it because Jim doesn't have Instagram? There's no way he's monitoring this.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way Jim has Instagram. Although he knows about it for sure, and he laughs at it. Maybe
is Jim the guy behind the site? Yeah.
Maybe it is Jim. Oh, that would be amazing. Please, Jim. Please go for it. No, because we know Jim's on Instagram because he commented on your snaky post about me, and he was throwing some shade on me, saying they were feeling good.
Whoa, I don't think it was Jim Sage account. Does he run the Western Mustangs account?
The Western Men's Volleyball account? Who do you think
assume that's Jim Sage, or you know that's Jim Sage?
Well, I guess I don't know for a fact. You're right. I don't know for a fact. But who else?
Could be an assistant coach. Could be an alumni. I feel like Jackson Beer, proud alumni, has something to do with the Not Western Mustang site because, I think he's pretty good with the memes and the online chirps a little bit.
Well, that'd be great. Okay, we've chirped Western a bit, Martin. Have your dreams been realized, or what else you got?
My life's fulfilled now. We've roasted Western on your show once again.
Okay, great. We'll come back. Hey, we'll come back to it. We'll circle back. Don't worry, we ain't done. Okay, Luke, what do you got? Why did you come on the show?
Well, for me, it was more of the same, but towards Queens.
So, Josh, if we want to turn this into a show where people come on just to chirp other teams, I'm so about it. Like, I will facilitate that. I'm happy for that to be what this show turns into. Absolutely. So what's your beef with Queens?
Well, I just mean when we played against them, they just seemed to have such a really good idea of everything we wanted to do, but we still won 6-0 on the weekend.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just feel like there's something not quite right with what they're doing over there.
Okay. Well, wow. That is probably more devastating than had you said something like really mean or like really, kind of, that's like just, yeah, like, well, they clearly had a good idea of what you wanted to do because Josh Nickel is on your coaching staff and he's one of the most predictable humans on the planet. But I mean, still winning, yeah, like, gosh. Is it because they're just not as good as you guys?
I don't know. You look across the net, and they've got some really solid players over there. But I don't know. We just there were times where we would line up in row one, and they'd be yelling at us through the net. They're like, they're in row one. Well, yeah, obviously. Everyone knows that. And then we would side out and move on with the game. But they made it sound like they knew what we were going to do. Oh,
I see what you're saying. You heard them through the net identifying things that were pretty obvious, and you're actually wondering what they're paying attention to. They seemed to know what you were doing, but they really didn't know what you were doing.
Or they might have looked at our tendencies and just said, oh, they're going to set this guy. But then
we're going to do nothing about it.
Couldn't do anything about it.
They're going to set Fedare, but he touches 12-1, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, that would do it. Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, you don't need advanced analytics to say that Josh Fedare is going to get 40 attempts. That's just like a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe it's coaching. If Josh went head-to-head in a fight with the Queens coach, who would win?
Like physical fight or like on the keyboard? Because Josh could probably win on the keyboard.
On the keyboard. Now, I assume you're talking about like the computer, but wouldn't it be awesome to see a piano keyboard off between Josh and what's his name? I forget his name.
His name is Gabe, and he's a very good coach, and Queens has done well, Garrett. I don't know why you're like pitting me against him in a battle here. Maybe a battle of wits would be fun, but I don't think we're going to fight.
Well, no, Martin's saying you're not going to fight, but you're going to battle on the keyboard. Who can play the best tune on the keyboard? No, I was thinking physical fight. Yeah, absolutely, because that's what me and my buddy Oscar used to do, and we were not professionals about it, but we'd talk on the bench, and as long we'd be filled with confidence if we felt like we could take the other coaching staff on if things got physical.
I think that's why you hired Oscar. Is Oscar was your backup? I think
he called himself the head of discipline for the team, which is kind of a hilarious thing to call yourself. Whenever we needed to run end lines, I just looked to him, and then he would yell end lines, and that they guys knew what that meant.
He probably hits a good down ball in practice, too.
Oh, yeah. Lefty, too. It's crazy. But also, there were some teams where the coaches were, like, jacked and big and could definitely take us. And we were like, okay, boys, like, don't get physical here. Like, if this gets out of hand, don't be going anywhere because we ain't backing you up.
As if that was a thought in volleyball, Garrett. I don't think coaches have ever fought, have they? In the OCAA or U Sports?
It was never going to happen. Obviously, Josh. Like, we're on a show where we talk about volleyball nonsense, and you're going to call out the reality of us thinking we're going to get in a fight?
This is too ridiculous for me. Even for me, Garrett, this is too ridiculous.
Okay, well, great. And I see you walking the line. Luke's ready to lay it on the line with Queens. You took him down 6-0. You're not ready to have a fight with their coach for the team. Are you really committed? You're late to practice every time.
Regular season was 6-0. Playoff game was 3-1.
Oh. Well,
and the set they won, they gave us the old slap. I think their game plan clicked that set, but I think we got 14 or 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who else do you want to chirp? Any other teams we don't like?
Douglas College, how tough is their coaching staff?
Very tough. And there's a lot of them. There's way too many of them. There's like 5 coaches on the bench. We're rolling deep.
Big budget. Is that why you take airplanes to tournaments? That's why you got a big budget, big coaching staff?
No, there's no money. We're not being paid. What do you think? It's a paid thing? What, you think there's money involved? No, come on. It's purely
I
for
explained
the...
to Luke that you flew to Cranbrook, and Luke explained to me like the mission that his team had to took and got a flat tire and got stranded in some like town that had 400 people in it. So yeah, Luke feels your pain that you got to fly while the boys were on the bus for 14 hours.
Yeah, like it was the boys have to do it. Like hey, well, what are you talking about, Luke? Our bus lit on fire. Like our bus burned. Like, what are you talking? Oh, we got a flat tire. Our bus caught on fire and burned, okay? So, yeah, like, I think you can sit in a nice town in the mountains for a few hours.
Yeah. I mean, we were walking down the street downtown in this weird town, and people were giving us the stink eye for sure, but at least we didn't catch on fire.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, we did catch on fire. Okay, let's keep this thing moving, you guys. This has been a hectic episode. You guys are obviously excited for Players and Clowns of the Week. Luke, you were trying to get that out right away. So you must be feeling good. Hopefully we haven't ruined it.
Well, no.
Okay, good.
No,
so who wants to start?
Who's
feeling keen? Mine are garbage. I am definitely the worst today. Like I worked a full week this week. Like I had stuff to do. You guys had practice canceled, and it's nice you can all be chatting volleyball on a free evening. You want to start, Josh?
I can definitely start. Sure. Mine's pretty low-hanging fruit, to be honest, but he was just named Canada West Player of the Year. Jordan Canham, who I wish would come back to the beach, but I think indoor scooped him up. He played on VNL this year. He threw up some... I used to call these Garrett May stat lines. Now it's just like... this was a Jordan Canham stat line, Garrett. I think it was just too good. I'm trying to find it here. It was pretty good. Against our Sask Huskies, because we've had Sean McKay on the show a couple times. 17, 4, and 30, hit 433 on the first night for 20 points. The next night, 15 kills, 1 air on 25 attempts, hit 560. Oh, and add in 6 service errors in a 3-0 win. So Jordan Canham definitely took over the match. Sean McKay will be back. I think they get to play for bronze and hopefully still get to go to nationals. But Jordan Canham laid a pretty good beat down on the Huskies this weekend, so he's my player of the week.
Congrats, Jordan. And I mean, he's probably more excited about the Player of the Week award than the Can West Player of the Year award. Like he probably doesn't care about that. He wanted this one.
Absolutely.
What are you talking about? Not Garrett May numbers? Yeah, that's a Garrett May numbers. What, you gonna bail on me now?
15-1 on 25.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes, guy. What are you talking about?
Okay, Garrett May type stat line. Yeah,
but you don't
read it
need
once again because it's insane. 15-1 and 25 for 560 in a playoff match.
You never need to refer to it as a Garrett May stat line, by the way. Like, but the fact that you say you're not going to, now that pisses me off. But hey, congrats, Jordan. Well deserved. All right, I'll go. I got a couple. So my players of the week are Vancouver Island volleyball in the Pac West dominated. The 4 teams that division sent to nationals for both men and women were all from Vancouver Island. Camosun men and women and VIU men and women, which is, I don't think like that interesting until you really think about it, that the best teams are all both genders on Vancouver Island. When I don't know about you guys, but like in club, are they dominant? Is they have like dominant club teams? Like, is there any reason to explain why that would be other than like, I don't know, they're just making it happen out there?
Good. Luke actually left the island to come play on the mainland because club volleyball there was so good.
Right. So it's like, yet the island college teams are dominant. So like, I don't know. They must be doing something right to bring the talent in or do something. So congrats to them. Another couple of players of the week, Josh, and I got to give it player of the week because, I mean, I'm a little bit bitter about it. So I don't know if you were paying attention. Probably weren't because you're a bit ignorant, Josh. But they announced the location, the host cities for the indoor volleyball Olympic qualifying tournaments for Paris. And spoiler, Canada is not one of them. Were we even on the list? Like, were we even being considered? They're not even in North America. Like none of them are in North America, which is kind of a snub. But we got to give congrats to Brazil, China, Japan, and Poland, who are hosting the qualifiers for them. And that's, I don't know, it's got to be a huge advantage. You're trying to qualify for the Olympics and you get to do it at home? Excuse me? Like, I feel like that's got to sway things big time, especially when the qualifying is that tight. So congrats to them, players of the week, and probably for getting into the Olympics. Like, those are 4 countries who are probably going to make it work, right?
You listed some pretty good countries. I will say Canada's going to host a couple beach events this year. The women are going to host their Norseca event in Quebec. So maybe if we get out and we support those events, then we'll get some cool VNL ones back. But I have a feeling there was some money changing hands for the FIB. You listed some pretty big federations there.
Right. So players of the week to all the fans who went out to all the events that we're hosting in Canada and made those massive successes proactively for getting that done. You're right, Josh. Well done. So that's my players of the week. So, yeah, again. Is anybody really that excited? Not really. Okay, who's next? What you guys?
I'll give my player of the week. I'll give it to Evan Filardo for winning player of the year in the OUA. It's a pretty easy one, but
does he deserve it? That's a tough question. He got it. I got it one year. Did I deserve it that year? Maybe, maybe not. It's a tough award to win, though. And they rarely give it to people 2 years in a row, eh?
I think Evan deserves it. It also could have went to Sixna or could have went to Jackson Young. There was a few guys that I wouldn't be surprised, but no, Evan's definitely deserving.
Yeah, I mean, you called him out as player of the week a few times for his big stat lines. And, I mean, U of T's in it, right?
They are our opponent, York versus U of T. Winner goes to Nationals.
Oh. I didn't know that was... So that's already happened when people are listening to this. So they're getting to hear your voice with the excitement, the hope of what is yet to come before you get to taste victory or those hopes are dashed. So next week, Josh, is it this weekend?
Yeah, it's the upcoming Friday as we're recording this.
So
yes.
Next week, Josh, we are going to hear the voice either of somebody who's gotten a big win and going to Nationals or somebody who's been absolutely dominated and is done for the year.
Are those the only 2 options?
Those are the only 2 options.
Well, then I'm calling it right now, Garrett. There's no show next week because we were too busy at Nationals. We couldn't record because we got banquets, we got quarterfinals, we got semifinals, and we got finals.
Okay.
Come see me in Hamilton.
If there's an episode next week, you know what happened. Check on Monday. You'll know what happened. Because nobody's checking the actual score. Now, they probably will already know what happens. But I want to hear the first thing you say that next episode, Josh. I want to hear either the excitement in your voice or the absolute devastation. There's no in between.
So it's tough for me to say, Garrett, because I wasn't on the squad last year. But my understanding is York won 2 matches last year and lost to RMC. So I don't know if it would be devastation. I feel like we've already accomplished so much as a squad this year that we're excited. We're going to earn our spot in Nationals. But it wouldn't be devastating to lose to U of T and Player of the Year Evan Filardo.
Way to set that up terribly for you. You got 2 teammates here listening, and you're not even committed to winning. Get out of here. Luke, what do you got to say about that? Your coach is selling you out.
If Luke de Greeff were playing, I would slap a guarantee on that ass. But however, he is not going to play, so that skews me a little bit.
You know what's kind of interesting is you guys can talk about your game plan, who's injured, who you're going to play, everything, because nobody will hear this until the game is over. So we can say whatever we want here, boys. So you got to stack up on Filardo, right?
Yeah, we're gonna stick Joshua Fedari on the left side for sure. He's gonna pass the whole game.
I don't are you lying? You don't seem like a liar, but I don't know what the deal is. Is he in the room where you are right now? Is that what's happening?
No, that's not gonna happen. He's gonna play on the right side. We don't want him to pass the ball.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, Evan Filardo, congrats on a player of the year, but sorry it didn't work out for Nationals. We don't know. We don't know. Awesome. Well, thanks, Martin. Over to you, Luke. Player of the week.
All right. Yeah, my player of the week, I'm taking it to the Can West. I didn't actually get to watch the games, but I was looking through the stat lines, and Jesse and Brody Hofer and their 2 games against Calgary combined on the first night for 52 points of a total of 82 for the whole team. And on the second night, 42 and a half out of 72. And for the 2 of them, they combined for a 44% hitting efficiency all weekend. So I wanted to give them player of the week because that's a pretty impressive stat line for a weekend and a semifinal.
I mean, good for them. Are they related? They have the same last name, but are they related?
No, Jesse Elser and Brody Hofer.
Oh, you said Jesse and Brody Hofer.
No, sorry, Jesse Elser and Brody Hofer.
I was gonna be like, okay, we got a couple of Hofers there. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Well, is it not often the case that 2 players make up like 2/3 of the offense?
Maybe so, but in a Canada West semifinal, I would have thought that it might have been a bit more balanced. They would have got some more offense from the middle or the right side, but it was
That's
the 2
true.
left sides that stepped up.
That's true.
And they both did 44%. That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
44% is pretty good. They must have been in system a lot. All right. Well, hey, great picks all around, team. And I can see that, Luke, you've learned from Josh in picking his players of the week is just when in doubt, lurk the stat lines. So, I mean, it's always a good go-to. Josh, you're teaching them well over there.
Is it lurking or doing your research something that you're not very familiar with on the show, Garrett? I don't think it's lurking.
Well, it is both. They both mean the same thing. I'm just saying it in a colorful way. You're lurking the stat lines for sure. Okay,
Just showing my sensitivity again. So if you're going to comment, please be nice, because even lurking apparently triggers me right now. So
yeah, Josh getting upset. We're totally kidding with each other, but Josh actually this is triggered right now. He's like, I'm not lurking. I'm doing research. This is prep. No, I'm not. Yeah.
Mad? Why would I be mad? I'm not mad.
You're lurking. You're a lurker. You're a creep, Josh. You're creeping the stat lines. Actually, is what you're doing. Is that worse? I don't know.
Way worse. Creep
All
is
right.
way worse than.
All right, clowns of the week. I'll go first because mine, I don't know, it's pretty weak. I don't even really feel it because I feel like it should be a player of the week, but I kind of we gotta put this in check. So I tuned in at work today, and this will be like 2 weeks ago, I think, when this episode gets out, to the stream for the CCAA men's volleyball, and the chat was lit. Josh, you were telling me you were listening to it, seeing some of the other games. I checked in on the Pac West, the Camosun team playing, and the chat was lit. It was like students in there chirping, like throwing stuff around. I really liked it, but I guess it got a bit out of hand.
In my opinion, it got a little out of hand, yes, with people going at each other in the chat, people going at players. I think the chat, we discussed, especially when the Cancun Beach event was on, it's nice to be engaged and talking to people. But if you're just there to be a troll, I don't know if that's the place for what this is supposed to be. But yeah, I thought some comments went offside.
Well, that anonymity. And everybody speaks English, so they know what you're saying. It's not like when we were talking about the Cancun event all that time ago, where there's people just cruising there in Portuguese, and we're not knowing what they're saying, so we got copy it and Google Translate to see what they're saying. This everybody's seeing what you're saying, so you throw a chirp out there, it's landing. I liked it though. Gosh, we gotta have the live chat for these things. I really, really liked it, but it is clownish behavior. So I mean, I gotta give it clown of the week.
But I feel like the men's draw of the CCAA is going to be perfect, Garrett, because it's going to be 2 Ontario teams versus probably 2 out West teams. I feel like VIU is playing Sherbrooke right now as we're recording this. I'm just going to say VIU probably won that match. So it sets up Ontario versus BC in the semis, which means it's going to be an all-Ontario final. I know I got 3 BC guys on the show right now, but congratulations to Ontario for getting gold and silver at the men's CCAA this year. Calling it right now.
Am I a BC guy? You're going to include me as a BC guy?
Comment below, loyal listeners, if you think Garrett identifies more as a BC guy now or Ontario guy now.
You just pick and choose when I'm a BC guy and when I'm an Ontario guy to when it best suits you, Josh. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know about that, man. Pat Johnson, he's going to fold up for sure. That guy went to Western. They're going to... They can't get it done. Come on. None of us can. Why do you think I'm doing this show? I don't have anything better to do. I've folded up in the rest of my life. Come on. Anyway. Okay. Who's next?
I'll go. I'll take the easy one here, Garrett. So it's award week. Everybody's announcing, I mentioned Jordan Cannon, Player of the Year. In the OUA, Garrett, they combined the East and West again, and you would think they would get rid of, like, 2 All-Star teams. You know what I mean? Like, last year they had an East All-Star team and a West All-Star team. So they combined. So you'd think, oh, we'll do what Canada West does and give 7 dudes first-team All-Stars and 7 dudes second-team All-Stars. No. 14 dudes are first-team All-Stars in the OUA, and 14 other dudes are second-team. So Dave is announcing this at practice. Congratulations, Andrew Tahi. Congratulations, Josh Fadari. And both of them go, oh, we both made first team. Does that mean we beat out Sixna, Jackson, Falarda, all these guys? And Dave's like, no, they made it too. So we're trying to figure out the list, and the list finally comes out. 14 on each, Garrett. So if you do quick math and say there's 13 teams in the league, probably 4 out of your 7, you could maybe twist my arm to say it could be All-Stars. So that's over 50% of the league is an All-Star this year, based on making 28 Cats All-Stars. And that doesn't include the All-Rookie team, which includes another 7 Cats. So basically, start in the OUA and you could be an All-Star.
This is the OUA?
Yes.
So this is diminishing all of my All-Star awards because it's doubling the amount of awards they're giving out.
Yeah.
We used to only be one division.
I was a first-team All-Star, and like 13 other dudes are going to be like, yeah, me too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It used to be all one division, and they gave out the 7 and 7, and that was it. Now they're giving out 14 and 14?
Yeah.
Whose dumb idea was that? What is this, like our little snowflake generation coming out here needs the participation medals? If you start, you get a second team All-Star? Like, oh, you sorry, like what? Are you serious? So that means 28 All-Stars?
Yeah. Again, not including the rookie team, so you could round that up to like 35 dudes.
Is there also 28 rookies?
I think they kept them as 1, so I think they're like a true 7. And the funny thing is, and I looked at his stats, maybe he didn't deserve it, maybe he's a bubble guy, but when York played Mac, I thought Brendan Mills was a problem. That guy hit some extreme angles, he gets some kills, like the one match he played against us, Garrett, 6 kills, 4 airs on 28, hit 429, like huge problem. Like, the guy's a fantastic player. Not an All-Star. Why is everybody in the league an All-Star except Brandon Mills? Big snub.
Well, who would you take off that list? Asking the tough questions.
Well,
I will say this, my boy, and I love him, Johnny Pickett's an All-Star, and somebody said, okay, maybe Brandon Mills didn't play enough, so that's why he's not on the list. But when you do your research, he played in 14 matches, 46 sets, and you can't blame Mac for winning in 3, so he played 46 sets. Johnny Pickett also played in 14 matches, played in 52 sets played. He's allowed to be a first-team All-Star, but Brandon Mills isn't on the list. So don't tell me it's a math thing that he wasn't eligible based on the amount of time played. I just don't know if they said, okay, Mac, sorry, you have too many guys. You already have like 4 All-Stars. You can't have a 5th All-Star. We have to give it to some other school, is probably what happened.
Did either of you two guys get an All-Star?
No.
Is that your sharp cut, Garrett? Is that your little big?
No. Well, sort of. They're giving out 28 of the things, and you two guys can't. You're not in the top 28 players in the league, Josh? What? How? How does this make any sense? 20. How many teams are in the league?
13. So 13 times 4. Like, that's why I got to like this 52% of the league is an All-Star. Because I rounded down, the bench guys aren't going to get votes. 13
times 4, Josh. Like, come on. Like, I know we're not the best at math on this show, but it's about 2 per team, slightly more than 2 per team, not 4 per team.
No, but I mean, there's probably 4 dudes on Mac who could be All-Stars. You could twist my arm, but yeah, there's not 4 dudes on other teams that could be All-Stars.
So, like, this is so... it's so stupid, guys. Like, that's a great clown of the week, Josh, because that's an absolute clown move. I know you guys got to be, you're in the league, so you got to be careful. But are you serious? 14 people on the first team All-Star?
So this is a callback to Sean McKay had this as his clown when we had him on the show about a year ago at this time. But it stays a clown because, like I said, when they amalgamated the league and got rid of the conferences and made us one, why they kept this, that's the clown move right now.
Unbelievable. So when did they announce them? Because they used to do it at provincials in the semi where they'd do it live and give everybody their thing. I think between the games, maybe they used to do it where they do the 7 and they do the 7. So are they going through all 28 guys now before the games?
I would have loved that because one, they didn't do a Final Four this year. That's another clown move. Is everybody's just going like quarters this weekend, semis the next weekend, and then finals. Like there's a week between everything now, which is a bit of a clown move. But I would have loved to have these guys sit in the bleachers together and be like, "Oh, hey Marty, like what are you doing here? I'm an all-star." "No way, me too." And like a whole section of the McMaster gym is just these all-stars, so they could see the volume of this. So like, "Hey, so and so, what's up? What are you doing here?" "Oh, I'm here to get an award. I'm pretty special." And then you go out on the court and you see 13 other dudes getting the same plaque as you.
Yeah. So there's like, so if you did it before a game, say, there'd be like 30 guys. Well, actually, there'd be 28 guys getting ready
Coach
to play
of the year, then the
in
Merit
match.
Award.
Yes. There'd be 28 guys prepping to play the game, and there'd be more than 30 people getting awards. So more people are getting awards than will be participating in the upcoming game. Unbelievable. How many Coach of the Years are they giving out? 5?
Just one.
Just one Coach of the Year. You're gonna have 20
The Coach of the Year
All-Stars.
award's harder to get than an All-Star.
Is there an assistant Coach of the Year?
No, and I wonder who
Like,
got that this year.
You're gonna have 14 second team All-Stars and there's no assistant Coach of the Year? Like, you're getting snubbed, Josh. Okay, would you win it though if it was there?
No, I think there's some good assistant coaches in this league.
You got to show up to practice on time to win.
Yeah.
There it is. Right, Luke? He's got to show up to
You
practice.
think
on time.
Ian Ebbitt's showing up late to practice every day, Garrett? You think like Tom Ellison's showing up late? No chance. Those guys are pros.
I mean, you could just show up late, hungover.
Whoa, no. It's weekdays, Garrett. We're trading on the weekdays.
Right. Right. What? Yeah.
That's Western style.
Yeah, show up hungover, sit in a chair at the end of the court, and just bark out orders for 45 minutes, then bail early. Assistant Coach of the Year. All right. We digressed significantly. We got other clowns. Okay, Luke, why don't you go? Is it Josh? Please tell me it's Josh.
It was actually the same thing that Josh had. I was going a little bit more specific towards Mac being ranked in the top 3 all year in Canada and only having one first-team All-Star out of 14 guys.
What?
That's true. They have like 4 total, but only one is a first teamer.
Yeah.
Mateus, right?
Yeah.
Zeus.
Yeah, only one. And Sam Cooper, who's their guy, who did miss a significant part of the season, isn't on the All-Star list at all.
You got snubbed.
Yeah.
What the hell? Are you serious? What a joke that is. Like, the league is a joke. I'm sorry, guys. You play in the league. I know you gotta like take it. You gotta be careful, right? Like, you don't want to say anything. But seriously, I don't have that, and I'll say what we're all thinking. Like, are you kidding me? The best team. So were they the top ranked team in the OUA going in?
By far.
By
They
far.
only lost one game all year.
They lost one game all year, and of the 14 first-team All-Stars, they got 1.
I think they lost 2. The last weekend where it didn't really matter mathematically, they dropped 2. But anyways, yes, Garrett, they only got 1 first teamer.
Did they get Coach of the Year?
No.
Did they get the like, that one award for like the nice guy?
Yes,
Yeah, they did.
the same guy. Mateus Woldarski won first team, and he won the award of merit as well.
Oh, they doubled up. The coaches vote, right?
Is that how this is done? Is that who's to blame here? It's obviously not like an NBA thing where everybody gets a ballot, every fan.
No, the
It's a coach
coaches
vote?
vote, right? Definitely. I think. So the coaches voted that. So maybe everyone's just bitter that Mac is winning. They're not. We don't want to
need
give
to
him a
start
bunch
a
of
petition,
All-Stars.
and we need to make everybody's vote go public. I want to know how this happens. So if it's coaches' votes, they should have to release their votes.
They definitely should. Nobody would check it. Like, it would be low risk. Like, no one's really looking at that. But, yeah, some accountability. Like, who'd you vote for? Like, if you're being sus, you're getting called out. Definitely on this show. That would be excellent material for this show. Just go through everybody's votes and just chirp them hard for it. Oh, gosh. You weren't involved in that, Josh. Normally the head coach, talks with their assistants about who they're going to vote for.
No, they didn't ask my opinion.
Oh,
on
they did
anybody.
that. They did that at the start of practice, and you must have missed that.
Yes, it was probably during the pre-practice meeting that I wasn't there, and that's why Brendan Mills wasn't an All-Star, because I wasn't there to advocate for him.
Got it. Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
there it is.
Sorry, Mills. Sorry. We've actually never spoke, but I'm sorry that I cost you an All-Star.
Yeah, it's your fault. Great context add there, Luke. Way to double down on the clown with some additional information that Josh didn't have. I'm so glad you went after him. That order worked out way better. It could have been worse. That is awesome. Great clown. Thanks, Luke. Okay, Martin, what do you got?
My clown was from the Italian league, the Coppa Italia. Perugia hasn't lost a game all year, but they lost in the semifinal of the Coppa Italia, and the so-called best player in the world hit 4% on 25 attempts.
Whoa.
Leon hit 4%, and their coach didn't have the balls to pull him because he's the best player in the world.
Wilfredo Leon.
Yep. And they haven't lost a game all year.
They haven't lost a game all year, and they fold up in the semi, and their best guy goes 4% and doesn't come out.
I think they pulled him for one set, halfway through one, and then they came back and almost won that set. But then the next set, they put Leon back in.
Oh my gosh. That is a high tier fold up. I mean, you don't hear about that happening that much. Oh gosh. I'm feeling sick.
Was he getting aces? Was he getting blocks? There was nothing going on, was there?
What are you trying to defend the guy,
watched
John?
game
You're trying to
get blocked
advocate here.
every attack.
Garrett, if there's a pro in any league who can probably get you Jordan Canham type aces, it's Leon.
Right, but he's hitting 4%. Josh, this isn't the OUA where you could go 12 on 24 and call it hey, I was in it. No.
Hey, I'm a first team All-Star.
Yeah, hey, I got a second team All-Star. I hit 4% all year. Some guys can say that. But the pros, they're in system way more. Things are way faster. They're all way bigger. They're rocketing the ball. And you're going to hit 4%? You just, what? How? How is that possible? Right?
And Josh's point scoring percentage on his serve was 20%. So it wasn't good either. So
you got any other options? Maybe he was bringing good team camaraderie. Obviously not. It didn't work. They lost. Oh gosh.
That's easier said than done though to pull that guy though. He's obviously the best player in the world. So do you just hope he figures it out?
The assistant coach of the year would have the balls to pull out the best player in the world if it was costing him.
Garrett, you ever get subbed out?
Well, when? Because sometimes never, and sometimes rarely. How's that for an answer?
Vague.
At Western, never. But I never hit 4%. Did I ever go negative? I shouldn't pop off and say that I have never gone negative, but I don't know. Anyway, great clown, Martin. Oh, gosh. Absolute great clown. So is the clown the club, or is the clown just Wilfredo Leon, the best player in the world?
I got to clown the best player in the world. Wilfredo Leon.
Love it. Coming out, sharp cuts, you get the appearance. Clown of the week, I'm going right at the top. Don't hesitate. I like it. Oh, gosh, you guys. See, the Players and Clowns of the Week segment, Josh, takes way longer when there's 4 of us, when there's just 3 of us. So we get way more content for the show. Imagine if we had 8 people on here, it would be just Players and Clowns of the Week, and it might be a blast. So let's get maybe the whole York team on there in a Nationals episode. Ooh, though, but if
it sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we could do that. Players and Clowns of the Week. Yikes! But if we commit to that, we have to also commit to doing it if you guys lose in the whole depths of despair and feel that.
And I mean, we're an inclusive show, Garrett. I'll include Western Mustangs or Brock Badgers, whoever. It's just what happens is somebody bails the day of, and I have to go to my people. I have to go to my circle. So if you're just rolling your eyes being like, this is nepotism again, no. If you want to come on the show, you can come on the show. But literally, Luke, I think I let you know at 6 p.m. and we're recording at 8:30. So come on, don't accuse me of nepotism, Garrett. It's happened in the past. I know you didn't do it today, but yeah.
Wait, you calling me out because you're feeling self-conscious about nepotism? I haven't said anything about it today, but I have before, so you're calling me out for doing that before.
The last three guests, so these two jokers, York Lions. Last week was Tynan, who lives with the York guys and is on the beach national team. And the guest before that was Jazz, a York setter. So, like, I'm feeling the pressure here that this is, like, instead of Sharp Cuts, this is Josh and Friends. But it's just because my network is pretty small in terms of, like, getting a guest 2 hours before we want to record.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to call you out for that because I know people have bailed on you. But what I was going to ask you is, can we name who bailed? Because last week, we also had somebody bailed, and we asked for comments, and nobody commented. Because, like, that's a weird thing to ask people to comment. Like, hey, who do you think bailed on us with no other information? But should we do it again, or are you willing to name the name of who bailed this week or last week?
Garrett, you know this athlete, and I don't want to call her out because I want you to call her out on the show. But at exactly 5:57, I received a message saying, hey, the good news is I found somebody to come on the show with me, but she can't do it this week. Next week is better for us. So she found a sidekick because she was too nervous to come on the show by herself, but then said, actually, we'll come on next week. So she basically rebooked herself. Joke's on her. I'm going to be at Nationals, so we can't record next week. So when she finally does come on the show, Garrett, you know this athlete. You can call them out face to face.
No, you're coming on the show next week because you'll be at Nationals, so we'll have like 8 York dudes and them on the show. And we'll do like a 2-hour special. It's just players and clowns of the week. And then I'll call her out. She'll be my clown of the week. Let's go.
Fair.
What are you afraid?
I think you've coached this athlete before, so I think you're going to fold up. I think you're talking tough right now. I think you're going to fold up.
Well, I don't want to commit to never folding up because it would be great entertainment if I did fold up. But I don't often fold up. So you better really be bringing it, Josh, to get me to fold up.
That's a good cliffhanger.
Great cliffhanger. Didn't mean it. All right, guys. Well, anything else you want to tell the people? Last chance. You'll never be on Sharp Cuts again. Sorry, that's a bit harsh. I don't mean that, but maybe. Anything else we want to get out to the people?
I think I'm good.
All right.
I'm good as well. Thanks for having us.
Okay, great. Well, you heard it here, folks. These two guys don't care enough to tell you anything. They don't even. Josh, you didn't even tell them, hey, maybe tell the people to subscribe or 5-star the podcast or like, hey, check these guys out because we watched the show. We're fans of it too. None of that. These guys are just like, nope, we don't know these guys. We're doing it because Josh. We want more playing time from Josh. This show sucks.
It's been in front of our face the whole time. Like radio used to do that, right? Like, hey, this is so-and-so, and you're listening to the best rock station, KX95. Why don't we ask every guest to be like, hey, I'm Luke Greeff, captain of the York Lions. You're watching Sharp Cuts, the greatest show on the internet. Like, I don't know why we haven't made that a condition to be on the show.
I totally agree. We'll pick that up next week.
Yeah, not right now.
These guys have nothing else to say, so. Alrighty. Well, appreciate you guys coming on the show. Good luck next week. But also, like, it's a retroact because this is a weird time loop that we're in here. So, congrats on the match. It went okay for you? We don't know. So, hope it goes well for you. Hope that you're not on the show next week. We don't know. I don't know.
The
Josh,
plan went according to plan. Our game plan was perfect.
Okay, great. Just make sure to call out when they are in rotation 1 and really announce that pretty loudly. You need to know that. Let everybody know that. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Josh, pleasure as always. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.